Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I have this video in front of me and it's exciting. Sadhguru and Logan Paul. So I want to react to that. I think that's going to be an amazing reaction because see, I am of Logan Paul's age. I have been watching Logan Paul since 5 years. I have seen him throughout his journey. I admire him for his hard work, for what he's achieved and what he's done with his life. He comes from a middle class family. He built himself this empire, and that's impressive. But what is more impressive is this guy also has grown so much personally. Like if you see 2017 Logan Paul and if you look at 2020 Logan Paul, those are two different people. Those are not even the same people. This is Sadhguru and Logan Paul. Sadhguru is, if you guys know, if you are Indian, okay, you might not be Indian, but Sadhguru is one of the most renowned mystics of India, and he is a very influential character, and his philosophies and what he talks is very it really catches your attention, and he forces you to think about stuff in a very unconventional way. Just to even start the video, before I start the video, right, because this is very special for me. This is for me like when North Pole meets the South Pole, which is not possible. This is like fire and ice. This is like two different ends of the universe. Logan Paul and Sadhguru, I would have never imagined this. A new day, a new beginning. Actually, yesterday I was gonna react to the complete podcast, but I quickly realized that's not gonna work. So today we are gonna react to impulsive clips, and the first clip that I'm seeing is Power of Admitting That You Don't Know by Sadhguru. That this is the first clip regarding Sadhguru on impulsive clips. So let's jump in and let's watch.
How many of you believe in God? Just raise one hand. Okay.
Got about 5 people? 6 people?
How many of you believe you have 2 hands? Just raise one hand.
Do you believe you have 2 hands, Milt? He's raising them both just to prove it.
So I'm asking you, do you believe you have 2 hands or do you know that you have 2 hands?
Both.
Damn, that's smart. So he's asking if you believe you have 2 hands or if you know you have 2 hands. Now the reason for this question is because people confuse belief and knowing something. That's smart.
Really?
Yeah.
I was both. If you know you have 2 hands, where is the need to believe you have 2 hands?
One follows the other.
No.
Why not?
If you know something, why do you have to believe it?
If I know something, why do I have to believe it?
Yeah, you
because
know it.
I believe one follows the other.
No.
I believe the truth. I have 2 hands. That's the truth. I believe it.
See, the word believe essentially means you do not know something, but you believe it is so.
True, but you could believe and know something.
See, I believe you are a good guy. What does it mean?
So you don't know that.
I don't know. And that's what I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know what you are, but I believe you're a good guy.
Okay.
I believed he's nice and I went to him and he was terrible.
So are you saying forget about the belief and
See,
just…
this is really sad. Like we are already 1 minute 16 seconds into the video, and the discussion is revolving around just the basics of knowing, believing. What's the difference between that? And I think that's very stupid, because people should be aware about what the words they mean, or at least quickly understand what Sadhguru is trying to say. Because if you keep him engaged in this basic talk, he cannot you will not allow him to explain what the real deal is, right? Let's continue.
stick
I'm
to
not
what we
saying.
know?
But first understand the distinction between knowing something and believing something.
Got it.
So whatever we do not know, it is most wonderful of you and human of you to see I do not know. Because I do not know is a tremendous possibility. Tremendous possibility. The moment you destroy I do not know, your entire learning and expansion process has come to a cease. And this is what you're doing with your belief. That you believe this, you believe that. All these days people were saying, I believe God. Now they're saying in California, I believe in myself. I don't know what that means.
Well, I believe in God, and I do know that there's a God. So you're saying to sacrifice my belief so I
I'm
can
not
know
asking
things?
you to do anything. I'm asking you to look at the distinction between knowing something
Yeah.
and not knowing something.
What is the
So
metric?
right
for-
here, the perfect answer for George is that you might believe that there's a God or whatever your beliefs are, but you should understand you don't know the complete picture, and you should not judge people, and you should not tell your beliefs to other. You should not preach your beliefs to other people like you know it. And I guess that's the fundamental thing that Sadhguru is trying to highlight in this discussion.
for which something goes from belief to knowledge is the
Not knowledge.
I just want to
We're talking about knowing.
right. So
Let me
Is
make
the-
a
is-
distinction between knowledge and knowing.
okay, is the
Knowledge is an accumulated information. I know this and that.
This
by
is the
knowledge
first podcast where I can see Mike is dead as serious, and he is like literally not cracking any jokes. He's not taking things lightly, which is kind of sad because we know Mike for being witty, funny, and just having that humor to him. Also George, but I guess they have to be a little serious in this episode. So yeah, I guess that's fine. But this is the first time I'm seeing Mike like this, so it is what it is.
have accumulated information. Today everybody is knowledgeable about everything. This doesn't mean to say they know it. They know it through the phone screen, everything in the universe, but they don't know it by experience of anything. So knowing is by experience. I have two hands, is my knowing. I know it is there, all right? Even if I close my eyes, it's there. If you argue with me, it's there. It's there anyway. So belief is something else. Right now I know something, I do not know something. These are two facts of life.
so
If you live in truth, you will know some things, you will not know some things. What you do not know, naturally your intelligence will want to know, you don't have to seek it consciously. The moment you see I do not know, your intelligence will start working. The in-between thing is, what you do not know, you want to believe and make yourself feel like you know it. And that's caused tremendous trouble to human beings.
That's true, because see, if you look at the whole situation that the humankind is in, you can clearly see all the religions, all the major religions on the planet are constantly on a collision course. Like everyone's belief is different, and the major problem is people are holding their beliefs as something that they know for a fact, which is not true. Let's hope for the best.
Assuming things that they do not know.
I think that
I wanted to build off of his knowing versus believing. I don't remember which school of thought, if it was Plato or Aristotle, but do you believe that all knowledge comes from what is gathered by one of the sensory parts of life, by one of the senses? Is that your belief? You see something, you believe it. You smell something, you believe it. Or is there room for faith? Is there room for metaphysical understanding?
Dude, just look at George. George is not having it. George is like he's completely off. I don't think he's into the conversation. He's not enjoying it. I guess George looks like he's a little bit closed off, which is a little bit sad because I know George is a very big believer
Of certain things. Do you leave that open, or do you have to experience it through one of the senses?
See, if you go by your sensory perception, right now I touch this and I say it's cool. No, I don't know what this is. Only because it's cooler than my body, I'm saying it's cool. If somebody else who is much cooler than me touches this, they'll say this is warm. Yes or no?
yeah.
So I'm saying your experience of senses is a very relative experience. It's good enough for survival, not good enough for knowing the nature of what it is. For survival process, you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, which is what you're saying. To go to the grocery store, all this is good enough. But if you want to know what it is, you cannot know through your senses.
So that was a good video, and I like what Sadhguru is saying here. And yeah, I mean, the whole premise of this video is knowing and believing, and and understanding that what you know is should be from your own experience, and it should not be from a book or from Google or something like that. Essentially, what you read from Google and notebooks and books is something that you believe, and that's not knowledge. And Mike just said that, can you measure things and can you know things from all the 5 senses? And Sadhguru politely told him that it's impossible to understand the world from our senses. Simply, an example that comes to me is by the science that we already know. We know that we can see a very small percentage of light, right? Only, I guess, 1% of light we can see, which is visible spectrum, and there is a lot of light that we cannot see. And what we do not see, we simply believe that it does not exist, which is not the case. Also, Sadhguru gave a very good example of water. If my body temperature is less than water and I touch it, it's hot for me. If my body temperature is higher, similarly, and the experience is relative for everyone. So I guess this is a very high level of thought, and people might not be able to understand it at first, but I guess one of my friends told me the more you watch Sadhguru, the more he helps you trigger your mind to think beyond what is the norm. And yeah, I guess this was a very amazing video. I think what my understanding is that it's going to be very difficult for Impulsive audience to make sense out of this. That's all my concern is. But yeah, overall I am really appreciative of this video. So out, over and out.